It began with a test, quiet one. Deep under the mountains of northern Canada, a hidden lab was built by Earth's most brilliant minds. Only a few people knew about it. Even fewer understood what was really happening inside. They called the project Echo Light. It was supposed to be a way to send messages deep into space faster than light, farther than ever before. No one thought it would change everything. Dr. Lena Rowe stood in front of the machine. Her hands were shaking, but her face showed no fear. She had worked 10 years on this project. Today was the first real test. "Are we ready?" she asked her. Assistant Mark nodded. "System is stable. Countdown ready." The machine was large, shaped like a ring. Blue lights moved slowly around it, glowing softly. A low hum filled the room. Felt ... alive. They didn't know that someone or something was already listening. Countdown, 3, ... 2. 1. The moment. The signal was sent. Nothing happened on Earth. No explosion. No noise. No lights. Just silence, but in space. Chaos began, at the same time. Thousands of light years away, on the edge of the Torvax Empire, a communication hub shut down without warning. No messages in, no messages out. Total blackout in the Zarnax system. Trade ships lost control. Their nav systems glitched. Pilots screamed as stars around them vanished from screens. In the Council Core, panic started. The main relay towers were dead. The galaxies had gone silent. Something powerful had jammed the stars. Back on Earth, Dr. Lena smiled. "Signal." "Sense," she said. Mark looked at his screen. "We're receiving an echo." That was strange. The signal wasn't supposed to bounce back. The machine pulsed again. A faint wave of energy rolled through the lab. Every screen flickered. Lights dimmed, then silence. "What was that?" Lena asked. Mark frowned. I think we just got a response. But ... it's not from any satellite." Lena leaned forward. "Then where is it from?" Mark paused. He whispered, "It's coming from deep space. But not from a location, from everywhere." Meanwhile, the Galactic Council called an emergency session. Alien leaders from 23 major species gathered in the high tower. "The humans have done this," said one voice. It was General Var of the Kolrothi Empire. His face was pale. His hands shook. "They don't have that power," said another, a Soro diplomat. "Earth is primitive," General Var slammed the table. "Then explain this." Every system went dark exactly 3.1 seconds after the human signal left their planet. The council turned silent. The evidence was clear. Earth had sent something. A signal, a wave, a command. And it had touched the stars. A scout ship was sent toward Earth, small, invisible, fast. Its mission was to scan and return with data. It never came back. Halfway to Earth. The ship's systems crashed. Black screens. No control. AI pilot sent one last message before it disappeared. "We've been hit by a field. Not natural. Not electromagnetic. Something else. Earth is covered in it." That was the last anyone heard from the scout. Back on Earth, Mark turned pale. "Lena, the satellites. They're acting strange. Our own networks are being jammed by our signal." "How is that possible?" Lena asked. "I don't know. But the signal is growing stronger, spreading without us doing anything." The stars were no longer quiet. They were afraid. Across the galaxy, empires prepared for war. Weapons were charged, shields raised. Some thought Earth had discovered a star-killer signal. Others believed this was a warning. A threat, but only one being old and hidden in. The dark of space understood the truth. It whispered one word: return. The stars had never been silent before. For thousands of years, the galaxy buzzed with messages, strayed deals, warnings, war talks, peace calls. Signals jumped from star to star, system to system, planet to planet. But now? Nothing. Every empire was afraid. In the heart of the Galactic Union, high-ranking leaders gathered inside the Hall of Echoes. The chamber was cold. No one smiled. The news was terrifying. The humans have jammed us all, said the commander of the Sarati fleet. His long fingers tapped on a screen that showed complete darkness. No signal is passing through, not even light waves in some sectors. That's impossible, said Lady Vuin of the Mirari. Earth doesn't have that kind of power. The commander turned to her. Then who sent the signal?
No one
Answered across the stars, rumors grew. Some said Earth had awakened an ancient weapon buried deep inside the planet. Others said the signal was alive, not technology, but some kind of living energy. Many feared the worst. The humans didn't. Send the signal. They unlocked it on Earth. Dr. Lena Rose stared at the data coming in. The Echolight machine was now glowing non-stop. It hummed with strange energy. The lab walls vibr'd. Mark, her assistant, was pale. Lena, our satellites, they're being taken over. By who? She asked. By the signal. It's rewriting code. Smarter than us. Lena's voice turned cold. We didn't send a message. We woke something up. Suddenly, the screen blinked. A message appeared. Just one line. We see you. Far away. In deep space. The Zalthari scouts, one of the galaxy's oldest species, sent a fleet toward Earth. Their ships moved through silent space. But before they reached the solar system, they stopped. The stars around them changed, shifted. Their maps no longer made sense. Captain Norak, leader of the Zalthari fleet, gasped. The stars, they've moved.
asked.
Science officer shook her head. No, Captain, we've moved. Space itself is bent. The signal had created a strange field around Earth. Anyone who entered it would lose direction. Some would disappear. The Galactic Council panicked. This is war, shouted the Prime Warlord of Drex. Or worse, whispered a soft voice from the shadows. All eyes turned to the speaker. It was Archivist Silo, the oldest living being in the Council. His eyes were black, his skin like stone. I've seen this once before, he said. Long ago, before humans were even known. He pulled out a dusty crystal and placed it in the center of the table. The image inside showed a black circle like a hole in space. It pulsed. It was just like the human signal. Silo said that signal belongs to the old ones. The chamber turned silent, back on Earth. Lena and Mark watched as the machine suddenly stopped humming. The lab went quiet. Then the air changed. Heavy, cold, like a storm was coming. Suddenly, a map appeared on the screen. Not made by humans. It showed Earth, and then hundreds of paths, going out into the galaxy. Each path had a word beside it. Return? What is this? Mark asked. Lena whispered, a map for someone or something. To find us again, above Earth, in orbit. An old human satellite turned back on it. Hadn't worked in 120 years, but now it was active. And it was sending a signal not just to Earth, but to the stars. It said only one thing in a deep, ancient voice. They are waking up, in the outer rim of the galaxy. Something massive opened its eyes. Black skin. No face, no sound. It floated. In the dark, and it listened. It heard Earth's signal, and it smiled. The galaxy had always feared war. But now they feared something worse. Humanity's return. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't even for them. But the galaxy had already decided. Humanity was too dangerous to be left alone. In a quiet lab deep under Earth's surface, Dr. Lena Rowe watched the signal map grow. Each glowing line spread. Further across space, reaching distant stars, Mark leaned forward. It's not attacking. It's searching. Searching for what? Lena asked. Mark shook his head. Not what. Who? At the Galactic Council, Archivist Silo stood before the other leaders. His old rough hands held a glowing cube. I translated part of the signal, he said. It's not a weapon. It's not even designed to harm. He clicked the cube. Voice played, slow and sad. We are alone. No response, please. If anyone hears this, remember us. The room went cold. That's Human language, one council member said. No, Silo replied. It's older, human, but ancient. From long before their modern time. The council froze. One question filled every mind. How long have the humans really been out there? Gak. On Earth? ... Lena stared at the message. This wasn't made by us, she said softly. At least, not by us today. Mark pointed to the screen. Look at this, it's dark matter coding. Humans don't even use this technology yet. Lena blinked. Then who built the machine? The power flickered. A second signal came through. Not from space, but from beneath the Earth. In Antarctica, a deep black structure was buried in the ice. For centuries, no one touched it. Scientists called it a rock. Soldiers called it a threat. But now, it pulsed with life. The same signal that jammed the stars was waking it up. And inside it, something opened its eyes. Meanwhile, far across the stars, the Zalthari fleet watched from a distance. They recorded Earth signal patterns, trying to decode them. One Zalthari scientist gasped. These patterns, they match our ancient distress signals. The captain frowned. Are you saying humans copied us? No, the scientist said. I'm saying ... we copied them. The truth was leaking. The signal wasn't just jamming the stars. It was unlocking memories deep, hidden, almost forgotten. In ancient libraries, old books began to glow. Artifacts that had been dead for centuries lit up. Even AI cores from broken starships rebooted themselves, whispering the same word, human. Earth, ... The lab shook. Sirens rang. Lena and Mark ran toward the machine. A new message appeared. But it wasn't on the screen. It echoed in their minds. A voice not human, but close spoke from somewhere invisible. You have reached the beacon. Welcome home. Mark stared at Lena. Did you hear that? She nodded. It spoke, inside my head. They weren't sending messages anymore. They were receiving them, back in the Galactic Council. Panic turned into fear, and fear turned into action. They're not just broadcasting, they're activating something ancient, said General Var. We cannot let Earth complete the signal. But what if it's not a weapon? Asked Lady Vuin. General Vaer growled. Do you want to find out the hard way? The council voted. The decision was final. Block Earth. Cut it off. Prepare for attack. But the message had already spread. Across the stars, forgotten systems began to hum again. Gates long sealed started to open, as ships from deep space and marked, massive, and silent turned toward Earth. They didn't come with war. They came because they heard the signal. And in the shadows of space, ... Figure tall, ancient, wrapped in lightless armor, watched Earth closely. It wasn't angry. It was waiting. It whispered finally, they are waking up. On Earth. Lena touched the screen. Maybe this wasn't for us, she said. Mark nodded. Maybe we're just standing on the ruins of something bigger. She looked at the sky, and maybe we were never really alone. The signal was not just a message, it was a key. And Earth was the lock. Far beneath the ice of Antarctica, the black structure pulsed again. It was not made by nature. It was not human. It was not asleep anymore. For thousands of years, it had waited, buried, forgotten. Watching now it was. Awake. In the underground lab, Dr. Lena Rowe stared at her screen. The signal just changed, she said quietly. It's not broadcasting outward anymore. Mark looked confused. Then where is it going? Lena pointed to the map. Going down. Into the Earth. The lab lights flickered. A low vibration filled the room like a heartbeat. Dumb. Dumb. Mark stepped back. Lena, something is calling us. The Echo light machine lit up with a new message. Coordinates locked. Transport ready. Transport. Whispered, is it inviting us? Lena didn't answer. We're going to Antarctica. At the Galactic Council, fear had turned into action. Our spy ships confirm unusual activity at Earth's South Pole, said General Var. Something buried under their ice is now active. Could it be a weapon? asked one diplomat. Silo, the ancient archivist, spoke calmly. It's older than weapons. It's older than war. They stared at him, he continued. The humans did not build that structure. They left it behind. Above, Earth-cloaked alien fleets began to gather. Hidden from human eyes, they watched from orbit, ready to strike if needed. But none of them dared enter the atmosphere. Not yet. Not after what happened to the last scout ship in Antarctica. Lena and Mark arrived at a remote station. Cold winds howled. The sky above looked strange, thicker, darker. The stars were hiding. Military drones hovered above the snow, scanning. But they were blind to what slept below. Mark stared at the frozen landscape. Where is it? Lena turned on her scanner. 50 meters below? They followed the signal until they reached a cave partly open, partly glowing inside. They saw it, a perfect black monolith, smooth, silent. Breathing, Lena walked closer. As she did, the air changed. It grew warmer, lighter. Mark touched the wall. It's not stone, it's metal. No, Lena whispered. It's alive. Suddenly, a beam of light shot out from the monolith. It scanned Lena's body from head to toe. Then it spoke not. Aloud, but directly in her mind. Human pattern detected. Clearance granted. The ground began to shake. A doorway opened. Not a normal door, but a soft ripple in space. Through it, they saw stairs going down. Into the unknown. Mark hesitated. Should we? Lena didn't stop. Came this far. Stepped through. Deep below the ice, they found a massive underground chamber. Walls of black glass. Symbols glowing. Machines older than Earth's. Cities in the center was a chair. Not for sitting, but for remembering. A voice echoed in their minds. Welcome back, children of Earth. Lena gasped. It's speaking to us? The voice continued. You were not born here. Were placed here. Hidden. Protected. Mark's hands shook. What does it mean? The stars were not ready. They are. Above them, the monolith sent a second pulse. This one traveled straight into the sky. It passed through Earth's atmosphere, crossed the void, and into deep space. And something answered. On a dead world far beyond any star map, something moved. A giant structure opened. Inside it was a fleet, not alien, not modern, human. The council saw it. Their sensors screamed. Ships older than any known species, coming back online. Ships that matched no records, yet every system labeled them the same. Origin, Earth. Back in the chamber, Lena stood by the ancient chair. The voice whispered, "The sleep is ending. The first memory is unlocked. 4 more remain." Suddenly, the room faded away, and Lena saw something no one else had seen in thousands of years. War. Humans in armor of light, a galaxy burning, and a final message. We hid. We forgot. But the stars never did. The awakening had begun, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. The stars had been silent. Then Earth spoke. And now, stars replied above Earth. The sky changed. A swirling storm of light formed over Antarctic colors not seen by human eyes before. The clouds didn't move like wind. They moved like memory old, alive. Returning, Dr. Lena Rowe stood at the edge of the ancient chamber with Mark beside her. They were no longer scientists. They were messengers. The voice inside the chamber spoke again, soft and deep. One memory unlocked. The fleet has heard the call. Earth's silence is over. In deep space, the hidden human fleet fully awakened. 10,000 ships. Some large enough to hold cities, some fast enough to outrun light. All of them built from dark alloys, silent engines, and memory-bound metal. They moved like ghosts, but they were very real. They had been sleeping for thousands of years. Now they were coming home, across the galaxy. Panic grew. Alien empires that once ruled now trembled. The Galactic Council watched in silence as the data arrived. A chip. Just one from the awakened fleet appeared near the outer systems. Without a single weapon fired, it disabled an entire starbase just by passing nearby. No attack, no message, just presence. General Var stood and shouted, "We must strike Earth now." But the archivist Silo shook his head. "It's too late," he showed. A star map. It blinked with red marks. "These ships are not coming from Earth. They're coming to Earth, from places we thought were dead." Council members stared in horror. "Hidden human fleets were scattered across the stars," Silo said. "They didn't disappear. They waited." Lena stood before the chair again. The chamber lit up with a second memory. Humans had once ruled the stars, but they faced something dark, something unspeakable. Instead of destroying everything, they erased themselves, left signals, sealed weapons, buried knowledge, to return only when the stars were ready, and now they were. Mark looked up. "What happens now?" the voice replied. "Now, they remember." Suddenly, Earth's orbit lit up. The first ship arrived. It didn't look like anything built today. Sharp edges, no noise, no heat. Just smooth black metal and glowing blue veins. It hovered silently over Antarctica. A message was sent not in sound, but in thought. Every leader, every soldier, every ruler across the galaxy heard it. Earth was not forgotten. You were warned. You chose silence. Now listen. In the Galactic Council, chaos exploded. Some wanted peace, some wanted to run, a few wanted war. But one thing was clear. The galaxy could no longer ignore humanity. On a battlefield moon, far from Earth, an alien warlord prepared his army. "We will crush them," he said. "They are just one planet." His ship moved toward Earth at full speed. But before they arrived, something blocked their path. A single human ship, small, silent. The warlord laughed. "Destroy it." They fired missiles, lasers, plasma. The human ship did not move. Instead, it absorbed the attacks. Then it responded with a simple flash of energy. The alien fleet vanished, not destroyed, just gone, as if removed from space itself. Earth's voice was clear now. They weren't asking for allies. They weren't looking for war. They were showing the galaxy one truth. We are back, and we remember everything. On Earth, Lena and Mark looked up at the dark sky. Dozens of ships now floated above, some welcomed by Earth's systems, some still waking up. Lena whispered, "It wasn't about sending a signal." Mark nodded. "It was about who would answer it." The stars had answered, the galaxy had heard, and the humans, they had only just begun.